always did drawings. I love to draw, and I still do. I had discovered with music that it's like taking a trip listening to a piece of music. And if you take a train ride through familiar terrain and beautiful terrain, beautiful according to your aesthetic prejudice, it gets better and better if you keep taking the same trip. And it slows down because you anticipate what's coming. And so that the fifth time I've listened to Mozart's 40th Symphony, I loved it more than the first time. So I got the idea that maybe art was that way. This is a recent blind drawing done at a lecture. Lecture. This is a subway drawing. I finally stopped being so stubborn about color. I very seldom do red ones, and every time I do a red one, someone wants to buy it, particularly in Europe, particularly in northern Germany and in Scandinavia, which I think is because it's dark there and they just need color, the way they need whiskey. I still, myself, like what happens with the pencil ones because the different weight, Well, this is a face I've been doing since I was a kid. This dumb face with, I would do it with my eyes open, right? But this is from my eyes closed, or this is a blow up of my eyes closed. And I call these the Brothers Dolly. And I mean, I've got involved enough that I actually framed one. The very first one I did, I framed. And now I've decided I'm going to cut it down and make it a diptych in separate frames. I was looking at a lot of silent movies in the mid-60s. I don't remember exactly when they started at MoMA, but I think even before they started at MoMA, whenever there was a chance to see a silent movie. I prefer the silent film to sound film as a genre. I still do. I'm convinced, in fact, to my own taste, I used to say that 12 greatest films ever made would all be silent. I think they're more than that. I can't get enough of silent films. Even if one is on television, I'm drawn to it. So I was guilty about spending too much time looking at silent films. So I would fold up a piece of paper and refold it so it fit in my pocket. And I would do drawings. And I liked the idea. I liked the idea that my mind was one place and my hand was doing something that was purely phenomenological. Somewhere along the line, I made the remark that my blind drawings were closer to calisthenics than to aesthetics. This is the Carnegie Hall drawing I did when I went with Virginia Dwan to see the St. Luke Orchestra. So this is what I did while we were listening to it. I like to be far away. Just the music takes me far away. So I like the idea of a phenomenological drawing where I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I literally don't know or think about what I'm doing. And this is a subway drawing that was done that also has Virginia Dwan's name on it because it was going there. Then we got a cab and we went over by cab. But sometimes I'll do right on top of one subway drawing on top. It relates to whatever's happening there. I mean, I'm sitting without my back touching, with my head full of helium. Just make sure I have everything. I don't want to get down on the subway. And 99% of them are one trip somewhere. So I'll do one in pencil. There's a question of me going downtown for something almost frivolous. Don will say, oh, be easy on yourself. But the fact is that it's become so meditative that that's being easy on myself. Part of the reason is I wear the firing range headphones, so it's quiet for 25 minutes. We go to the first car, that's the best chance. sit there drawing, the back is not touching. I don't cross my legs, the feet are down on the floor. Because of the lurching, you have to hold your balance. Lately I've been doing just with one hand, and then each stop I change to the left hand. In other words, one stop will be the right hand drawing and the left hand holding, and then the next stop, 79th to 72nd, will be the left hand holding and the right hand. And that's the kind I've been doing lately. That's the kind you just saw. That's holding a pencil in one hand. So that's the life part. Now should we get back to the art part? Repetition. Did you ever hear Kierkegaard on repetition? My God. I mean, what a mouth. Oh, I'm so glad that the subject came up. Here it is, believe it or not. Words to live by. Words to absolutely live by. Is that thing running now? Soren Kierkegaard. The love of recollection is the only happy love, an author has said. In that he is perfectly right, too. If one will only remember that it first makes a man unhappy. I mean, it's such a great beginning. It tells so much about his personality. In truth, the love of repetition is the only happy love. Excuse me. In truth, the love of repetition is the only happy love. Like that of recollection, it has not the disquietude of hope, the anxious adventuresomeness of discoverers, nor the sadness of recollection. It has the blessed certainty of the instant. Recollection is a discarded garment, which, beautiful as it may be, does not fit, for one has outgrown it. Repetition is an imperishable garment, which fits snugly and comfortably, neither too tight nor too loose. Hope is a charming maiden, but slips through the fingers. Recollection is a beautiful old woman, but of no use at the instant. Repetition is a beloved wife of whom one never tires, for it is only of the new one grows tired. Of the old one never tires. When one possesses that, one is happy, and only he is thoroughly happy who does not delude himself with the vain notion that repetition ought to be something new, for then one becomes tired of it. It requires youth to hope and youth to recollect, but it requires courage to will repetition. He who would only hope is cowardly. He who would only recollect is a voluptuary, but he who will repetition is a man. And the more expressly he knows how to make his purpose clear, the deeper he is as a man. Repetition is the daily bread which satisfies with benediction. When one has circumnavigated existence, it will appear whether one has courage to understand that life is a repetition and to delight in that very fact. Repetition is reality, and it is the seriousness of life. He who wills repetition is matured in seriousness. Wow, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's like a recipe for life. It's like a one-page recipe for life. You like it?
Get out.
The thing is, we only had one stop and I couldn't find the drawing we were working on, so I worked on another one.